Hello, my name is Dr. Brian McClelland, and you can find more information and materials such as this at www.dental-marketing.org. So let's get started. For this week, I'd like to review an article titled Nitrous Oxide Oxygen Administration. The authors are Donaldson et al., and it's in the Journal of the American Dental Association, February issue, 2012, pages 134 to 143. So this article is a nice review of nitrous oxide and safety features with current delivery systems. I believe that nitrous will be replaced by a revolutionary new system called NuCom. So that's capital N-U, capital C-A-L-M, NuCom, in the future. But because of the relatively slow exposure of dentists to NuCom and all it offers, nitrous will be used consistently and a lot in the near future. So nitrous is an inorganic inhalational agent that is colorless to odorless to sweet-smelling, and non-irritating to the tissues. It is non-flammable, but it will support combustion. It is dissolved and transported in the blood and does not bind to hemoglobin. Nitrous is not metabolized and is excreted through exhaling, and because of its low solubility, has both a quick onset and offset. There are 12 safety features of nitrous oxide delivery systems reviewed in this article. One of the most important is ensuring that the nitrous oxide oxygen concentrations never exceed 70% nitrous. Patients will always be receiving 30% oxygen, which is 9% more than ambient air at sea level. The MAC, which is the minimum alveolar concentration of nitrous, is 104%. What this is a number that is used to define when 50% of all subjects will be immobile during a surgical incision or stimulation for a given concentration. And for nitrous, it's 104%. What this means is it's really not possible to give the required amount to receive a surgical anesthesia on 50% of all tested subjects. Now, there is some outliers within this standard deviation that you can. But it tells you that the relative potency of nitrous oxide is limited or small compared to inhalational agents such as sevoflurane or isoflurane. So about 74% of American dentists currently use nitrous oxide for their patients, not for themselves. In Europe, 50-50 mix of nitrous and oxygen are used in emergency vehicles, at accident scenes, and is sold as a product called Entonox. That's E-E-N-T-O-N-O-X. Hadn't heard of this before. The quickest and most reliable way to revive a patient on nitrous is to remove the nitrous and have the patient breathe ambient air, assuming, of course, there's no other sedation being used. This is important to know so that if there is any complication or issues when administering nitrous oxide, the safest and most predictable way to help your patient is to remove the delivery, the nasal hood presumably, and allow them to breathe ambient air, assuming no other sedation is being done and no other agents are being used. Alarms are used for low pressure, oxygen less than 38 pounds per square inch or PSI, and high pressure. Color coding is used, and oxygen tanks are green in the United States, but internationally they are white in color. And nitrous oxide tanks are blue. The oxygen flows in green hoses and the nitrous in blue hoses. There's a thing called a DISS, which is a system developed by the Compressed Gas Association for non-interchangeable removable connections for use with medical gases, suction, and evacuation. Essentially, it's a way of having removable connections that have pins and keys that can only allow one gas to be hooked up to a specific connection. There's an emergency air inlet that allows ambient air into the circuit if the flow of gases stops. Nitrous and other compressed gases must be kept under lock and key. Minimum oxygen liter flow requires 2 to 3 liters per minute of oxygen flowing at all times. The minimum oxygen percentage ensures that concentrations of oxygen never decrease below the 30% minimum. There are oxygen fail-safe systems that is designed so that the nitrous will be turned off automatically when oxygen delivery is compromised. there's an oxygen flush button that allows 100% oxygen to be delivered through the reservoir bag in the event of an emergency. There is a pin index safety system, or PISS, PISS I guess, and ensure that the gas cylinders cannot be attached to the wrong gas connection on the delivery system. There's a quick connect for positive pressure oxygen with specific mating connectors, which allows for the administration of positive pressure oxygen in an emergency situation. There's a reservoir bag, which makes for easier patient breathing in the gases than from a continuous flow of gases, and allows the operator to monitor each respiration by visualizing each breath when adjusted correctly. So the flow of nitrous oxygen combination should be such that when the patient inhales and exhales, you can see the reservoir bag opening, inflating and deflating. So nitrous oxide is widely used in both dentistry and medicine and will be around for a long time to come. If you're interested in learning more about alternatives that in my hands are much more effective, such as NUCOM, please visit the education forum at www.dental-marketing.org, and you'll find in the technology section a video that discusses NUCOM in detail. As well, they can easily be found through a handy Google search on the internet. Thank you.